Evening, fellows. Welcome back to another podcast. This is the Phantom or Dragti. And in today's podcast, I'm be talking about a lot of different issues and stuff. But so to begin with, I do want to apologize for the podcast 2 weeks ago because I know that the audio in there wasn't actually that good compared to the first and the third podcast. This is the fourth episode of the podcast. So hopefully this sounds a lot better compared to the second one. But so today I want to talk about that kid in America who's wearing a Trump hat, and he was in a confrontation with a Native American guy. And it's kind of interesting to me because I watched the original video, the 8-second clip, and it looked like he was blocking the Native American guy's way. But then when you watch the longer extended version by those black people who are calling that white kids racist name, or they're being offensive towards the white kids, and the white kids are just doing their school chant or something. And then when you read the statements and actually understand the full context of it, I'm trying to understand that it's kind of confusing because on the one hand, it can be seen as disrespectful for the Native American guy to be banging his drum in the kid's face. But on the other hand, he could have just moved to the side and let the Native American guy pass. And some people are saying that he is in some march or something and he takes the exact same steps every year. But there are only 3 people behind him, so that's kind of a small march if you ask me. So I don't think that's actually a reason, but I think it's kind of weird because when you read the kid's statement, you can tell that he kind of means what he's saying, that he was just trying to diffuse the situation. Maybe he shouldn't have smiled or smirked. And for me personally, I know it's a bit hard to control when you're smiling or smirking and stuff. But I think that people went too far and started accusing him before they seen a wider context of video. And I think this incident kind of proves the idea that social media mobs aren't really that good, because once you see the longer extended video, it's 2 hours, is it 2 hours? I think it's 2 hours long. And you see the hate that the black guys were giving these kids who were just waiting for a bus. And then when the Native American guy came, I'm not sure why he went towards the kids, because the kids weren't actually doing anything wrong because they're just doing some school chants or something. And they had actually received permission from their teacher or an adult nearby to do their school chants. So the fact that the Native American guy went towards them, I'm still a bit confused whether or not it was a march or he was just trying to get in the way and try and block each side. But even if you're trying to reduce the confrontation, then I would have gone towards the black guys instead. I think that would have been a much better way. And the fact that they said, oh, look, they're surrounding us, they weren't really blocking your path. So when you see the video, you see them partying and there were clear gaps that these guys could have just walked through without any trouble or anything. I don't think any of those kids actually meant any harm when you see the longer video. I will try and leave a link in the description for the longer video, but it just kind of proves that you need to wait for the evidence and actually see what happens. And these kids are going to be not scarred, but maybe the abuse that they receive because of this, and because people haven't really seen a wider video, it kind of shows you how quickly people come to conclusions. And just because they're wearing Trump hats, I mean, it doesn't make them that bad, because I'm pretty sure they went there for some march or something about abortion. I think they're pro-life or something. I don't know, but even if you disagree with that, you should still allow them to have their bit and actually say their opinions, because that's freedom of speech. And there's a quote by some guy, I forgot his name, but it goes I don't necessarily agree with what you said, but I'll still fight to the death to allow you to say it. Or something like that, to protect your right to say it, or whatever, something like that. And I think nowadays I don't think many people would do that anymore. At least like the vocal people. I'm sure the people who don't speak out necessarily would still like support the kid. That's the whole idea of the silent majority, because social media, like Twitter, kind of amplifies certain elements of the political spectrum, like the left, and other platforms amplify the right. So in order to get a proper like balanced view, you need to actually look at various sources and not just rely on one main source, which is general good advice. Like if someone telling you that someone's giving away free gold, you should probably like ask someone else, are they telling the truth? That's already been there. And then you should check it out. Because if you go in like by yourself and it turns out that no one's giving away free gold, but instead there's some gang there and they're going to try and attack you or something, then you've kind of messed up. I mean, that's a bit extreme, but still, you should at least try and verify what actually happened. Yeah, so that was a pretty interesting incident that happened this week. I think it just opens up people's eyes to how the media can just like say, oh, this happened, look, he's wearing a Trump hat. I mean, that's where you start to play identity politics, where you say that because they're wearing a Trump hat, they must support all of Trump's policies, or because they're a member of the Labour Party, they support all of Labour's policies. And that's kind of wrong, because you should be looking at people from an individual level rather than common interests of people who may have similar like goals or be part of similar groups. And whether or not you necessarily agree with that view is up to you, but I don't think identity politics are the best thing to do, especially in situations like this, because they're just kids. Like, I don't know, it just kind of feels a bit weird to see them being attacked. I mean, sure, some of them looked like they were kind of being a bit idiotic, but I mean, isn't everyone a bit idiotic at some point in their lives? I don't know. I'll just leave it up to you guys. Comment down below what you guys think of the whole situation. And yeah, so next thing I want to talk about is designing. And recently I've gotten a bit more motivation to do so. And it's actually from Visual Arts that I actually received this motivation. And essentially, if you don't know who Visual Arts is, he's a good friend. He has like 45k subs on YouTube. He also does graphic design. I mean, I assume that everyone who watches my videos probably watches his as well. But yeah, so I'm in a Twitter group, Twitter group chat with him, and he posted a picture, and it's basically just like a script for his latest video, and it kind of just motivated me, because normally when YouTubers say, oh yeah, we work hard, we do all this work and stuff, you don't really see it. You just like, oh no, you probably just sit there and record it and then edit it. I mean, of course I edit videos and I like record stuff, and I know how hard it is. But looking at that script, I could see the amount of work that actually goes behind the scenes into making a video. And I can understand why some people struggle with making like multiple videos per week now, because he had like a proper script for it, and that just kind of motivated me. And then the fact that he stayed up to like 4:30 in the morning just to edit the video, that kind of showed me like the motivation, the dedication you need to have towards YouTube. And I'm just noticing my like audio is getting quieter and quieter, but I'm gonna try to speak closer to my mic now. But yeah, so it just kind of shows the motivation that you need to have if you want to do YouTube. And yeah, so that was kind of motivating for me personally. So let's move on to the next topic. Oh yeah, and some people I know, like Arun, he recently released a graphics pack, and that kind of motivated me to get to work on my one. Because if you don't know, the last graphic pack I released was, I think it was the Ghost pack. Yeah, it was the Ghost pack. And I actually made like a couple more packs after that, but I didn't release them. And I currently have 2 packs in the work. One's called the Future Pack, and it has everything in there's 8K. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like 8 gigabytes in file, but it probably has less compared to like a standard 1080p graphics pack. And the reason is because it's 8K, so all the files are much bigger. And this is like one Photoshop big document. I haven't even started putting other stuff into like folders outside it, brush and stuff like that. And the aim of this pack is just to try and like give designers some more resources that are higher resolution and stuff. And then I also have the Resurrection pack that's going to be coming out very soon. I mean, I just started working on it, and like I feel really motivated to make this because I'm seeing so many designers I know publish packs now. And I remember when I published my first pack and I didn't really have that many followers, and I asked Visual Arts for a name and he just said Yo. So I just called it the Yo pack. But obviously times have changed now and I haven't actually got a decent name for my pack. I mean, this was back when we didn't really know each other, and I think he was just saying hello in the chat, thinking back and not actually responding to my question. But yeah, so that's why that pack is called Yo. I think I've told the story before, but I will be trying to publish the Resurrection pack very soon, maybe even this Friday. Speaking of videos, I do apologize for not uploading last week another video as well as the podcast. And the reason is because I recorded a video, then I saw Visual Arts' like dedication and motivation and script and stuff. That was like, I just spoke about it from like, I didn't really have a script or anything, and it's kind of all over the place. And then when you watch people like Moors, who I admit for on Discord, like he says, oh yeah, I've been recording for 30 minutes, but I cut it down to 3 minutes. And I think now I can kind of understand why, because he scripts it and then he makes lots of mistakes. And I can kind of imagine that now a lot better after seeing like Visual Arts script. I mean, I might ask him, actually, no, I probably won't ask him, but I will think about scripting my videos in the future just to make them sound better. Of course, not the podcast, because like the podcast is an organic thing. It's not really to attract new viewers, so to say. It's more for me just to like build a connection with you guys. And my other videos are to build new connections with more people and then try and get them to watch the podcast. I'm going to try this strategy. Let's see how well it goes, I guess. But yeah, so that's basically about my channel and stuff. I'm currently trying to figure out like new design methods, because when I got into graphic design, I used to do a lot more photoreal designs, and now I'm trying to do more like abstract versions. So when I got into design, one of the first videos I watched was Visual Arts. I'm pretty sure if you had like £1 for every time I said Visual Arts in this podcast, you would probably be like a millionaire or something. But I saw his JMX speed art video, and that kind of inspired me to make more photo based banners and headers and stuff. And then everyone switched off the pen tool design, and I really don't like it. I'm going to make a video on why I don't really like the pen tool design trend and why it's so stupid, because it really is. I tried doing it and it's actually kind of stupid, the amount of like people who say, oh yeah, design's just pen tool nowadays, because it actually is such a shit design method. But yeah, so I watched his video and I did more photoreal, and then I switched over to more abstract stuff. So if you look at the thumbnail of this video, it's a liquefied background, and I'm starting to enjoy doing it, but I also want to bring back some of that photoreal stuff and kind of combine both of the elements and make it more of a mashup design style and something to call my own, because most of my design styles are kind of, well, not copied, but they're like inspired by other designers. And I feel like in order to improve, I need to make up my own design style that's going to actually like look good, and people will actually can say, oh yeah, look at that design, and then think, oh yeah, that must be a Phantom one or Dragti one, whichever one you want to call me. But yeah, because you can tell that with a lot of other designers, but they only ever stick to that one particular style. So if you ever seen some like portfolio reviews or anything, and you just watch the live streams, and you can see some of the designs are varied, but other ones are just the same, and that kind of limits the amount of work that you're able to show clients and stuff. And I think that's bad, because you want to really be able to show the width and breadth of your design skill so that more clients can actually like enjoy seeing your designs and then decide to buy one of you. But yeah. And also, I just want to make a quick announcement that I am closed for commissions for the foreseeable future. I don't think I ever really opened it properly, if I'm being honest. I'm just waiting till... I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I'm just waiting. Like, I don't feel like it's the right time to actually start getting paid for my designs. I want to try and improve more before I start seeking payment and start seeking actual like compensation for my work. Because before, I used to do a lot of free designs, and there's nothing really wrong with doing free designs as long as you only do it like once or twice. If you start doing it repetitively and keep doing it, then eventually it just becomes really like people just know you as the guy who does really good designs for free. Then you start getting spammed, and I don't really see the point of it. Yeah, so only doing it once or twice is a good way to establish yourself as a good designer. But as soon as you do it more than once or twice, it becomes repetitive, and people won't really like your designs as much. So yeah. Yes. There's not much more for me to talk about. Oh yeah. So something I noticed on the Discord service that I manage is that people join and they'll say, oh yeah, DM me for a banner for free, for a free banner, for a free intro, stuff like that. And it's really bad, because first of all, you're just advertising, plain and simple, you're advertising. And on the service that I admin for, we banned advertising, and the one I mod for, everyone's a designer, so no one really needs a free design, if I'm being honest. So no one actually does that. But on the ones that I admin for, it's kind of weird, because people join, then when you ask them for a portfolio, because this is what I do, when they say DM me for a banner or something, I DM them, I'm like, hey, can I see a portfolio? Then half the time, they don't even send me a portfolio. They send pictures in Discord. They send a Tumblr, which I don't think a Tumblr is a decent portfolio. It has to be a Behance or a Carbon made, because like a Tumblr is basically impossible to navigate for me. So I'm going to actually see a proper portfolio, like not even... It doesn't have to be a website, but a good portfolio site like Behance or Carbon made. And they send their Fiverr, and they're like, oh yeah, you have to buy a design to see my designs. And I remember some guy, said DM me for a banner and stuff. So I DM'd him, and he's like, oh, I only do it for YouTube sponsors. I'm like, hey, can I still see your portfolio? And he's like, no, dude, I don't do this shit for free. I'm like, no, I'm not asking you to make me a design. I'm asking to see your bloody portfolio, what you've made for people in the past. He's like, oh, I don't do this professionally. So why would you ask, does anyone need it, if you're not even doing it professionally? See, these people don't really make any sense to me whatsoever, because unless you have a portfolio, at which point you probably don't even need to be asking for like free client work, you shouldn't be advertising for your like designs and stuff. But yeah, that's going to be in the upcoming video. I'm just going to expand on that issue. If you guys do want to see it, make sure you stay subscribed. But anyway, guys, it's been the Phantom or Dragti, and I'm signing up. Peace, out.